Year 4, I just wanted to start off by saying fantastic guides. The ones that I have helped you with and I've read, they are really, really awesome. What I would love you to do, if you haven't already, if you can send in some photographs of your guide, what we'd like to do is we'd like to make a little video of them, and then we can look at each other's, we can celebrate them, and that kind of marks the end of writing the guide for the lost thing, but we are going to be going on to our brand new piece of writing. Hello Year 4, good Thursday morning. So, this is your TLP, your today's learning point. Can I make a boxed up plan showing everything I will need to write a diary? So that is going to be our new piece of writing. We are going to be writing a diary from the point of view of our lost thing. Okay, Year 4, so I have found this diary entry, and what I would like you to do is I would like you to see if you can spot who the diary has been written by. Okay, so the date at the top is Wednesday, February the 4th, 1999. Dear Diary, our day of planning and research went extremely well. I woke up very early, as I always seem to do these days, and I threw back my tiny soft quilt. Grandma and I have created a whole network of ladders, wires and nets so I can get from place to place with ease. Grandma was still asleep and snoring gently, so I climbed down my ladder and scurried along to my mini bathing area. I filled my bathtub, which is actually an antique sugar bowl, with foamy warm water. It felt wonderful. Who would have guessed that my life would actually be much improved since going through such a major change? After my bath, I used the banister buggy, which I invented and Grandma made, to whiz down the stairs and make breakfast. We had delicious toasted crumpets with honey and hot sugary tea. Grandma joined me and we planned our day. Grandma is the kindest, most wonderful human. We are both very happy sharing our lives together in beautiful Norway, but we have so much to achieve. We decided to visit the enormous and very grand Bibliotek, Norwegian for library, in town. Once we arrived, we headed straight for the reference part and began our research. We are looking for the architectural plans of the Grand High Witch's Castle headquarters. And you know what? We found them. Not only this, but we made the incredible discovery of a map which shows secret passages running underneath the castle. We were absolutely thrilled. I thought I might burst with excitement. We both knew what this meant. Access to the witch's headquarters. We made copies of what we needed, and Grandma pretended to be a doddery old dear. You never know if there could be a witch working as a librarian. We headed home to celebrate with Svelv and a story. If you've never tried Svelv, you should. They're a sweet treat that all Norwegians eat. They're like American pancakes and absolutely scrumptious when smothered with butter and syrup. I brushed my teeth with my doll's toothbrush and flopped into bed. I slept soundly after a very satisfying and successful day. So, did you spot who might be writing that diary entry? Is it familiar? You are right. Well done, Year 4. It was Luke, the boy from Roald Dahl's The Witches. It's Luke, and it's the part of his life after the Witches book has finished and when he's gone back to Norway with his grandma to see if they can get rid of the Grand High Witches, or her replacement anyway. Right, so we have got a little key here. Okay, so I have had a go at highlighting Luke's diary entry, and I've used this key. So the date is in yellow, the first person, those pronouns are in pink, the past tense, mainly it's in the past tense, that's those bits are highlighted in green. The introduction, that's actually in orange brackets to tell you which bit sets the scene. Blue, the events in chronological order. Purple, the bits that include personal emotions and feelings, and the time conjunctions and adverbials are highlighted in light green. So I'm just going to leave that there for you for a second, just so you can have a look. See if you agree. Right, so written down the side in that rectangular box going all the way down, it says events are written in chronological order from the morning to the evening. So I definitely know I included that, or Luke included that in his diary. The pronouns are highlighted in that bright pink. We've got our, I, my, we, me, all of those different pronouns. We have got the past tense words that show me that things are happening in the past tense overall in dark green. Went, through, guessed, improved, invented. Anything that shows emotions or how Luke is feeling, I have highlighted in dark purple. So I felt wonderful. We are both very happy. We were absolutely thrilled. I slept soundly after a satisfying and successful day. And in the light green, that's when we've got our adverbials, okay, telling us when things happen, and time conjunctions, okay. I woke up very early, later on, after breakfast, finally, after, okay. So let's have a little diary writing checklist. Did Luke include all of these things in his diary? Will I be able to highlight them in his diary? Did it include the date? Did he write it in the first person? Was it written in the past tense for the main events? Is there a little introduction to set the scene? Did he write it in chronological order? Does he talk about him and his grandma's emotions and feelings? And does he use time conjunctions and adverbials to tell us when things are happening? Right, Year 4. So this is how to set out your boxed up plan. So you should have those 4 boxes. In the middle, you've got text and audience. You don't need to add in the blue parts. That's just to remind you what to write, but you can watch me doing that on the video. The next box, purposes and effects on reader. The third one, features, success criteria. And finally, the 4th box around the outside, vocabulary ideas, word bank, and possible sentence openers. Right, I'm really looking forward to seeing your boxed up plans. So remember to bring them to the Zoom chat later on and you can show each other. Good luck. Okay, Year 4. So this is your task to fill in this boxed up plan. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk through each part, and then I would like you to pause the video, and then I'd like you to have a go at writing it. And then when you unpause, you will see that I will start to fill it in. So the idea is that you try and do it on your own. Yes, once you pause the video, once we've talked it through, and then if you're stuck, if you're not sure what to do, you can unpause and you can magpie the ideas that I have. Right, so let's start off in the middle box. Text and audience. Okay, so what is going to be written and who for? And it says be precise. Right, so we are writing a diary. Okay, a diary of a lost thing. It's all going to be of your own lost thing that you have created yourself. Okay, and who is it going to be for? Well, I think we could say for all to read. For all to read. Okay, so hopefully you paused and you had a go yourself. Right, so purposes and effects on the reader. So what that means is, how do you want the reader to feel, react, or think when reading? Okay, so I'd like you to pause at this point, and I'd like you to have a think about seeing if you can fill that in on your own. Okay, so how do you want the reader to feel when they read the diary? How do you want them to react, or what do you want them to think when they read the diary of the lost thing? So pause now. Okay, so if you unpaused, if you were stuck, or if you wanted a few more ideas, you can watch me now. Right, so how do we want the reader to feel, react, or think? So we want them to learn more about the thoughts of a lost thing. Okay, so to learn more about the thoughts and feelings of a lost thing. Because we haven't really given the lost thing a voice so far. What else? What else? Well, I think we want the reader to have a bit of an empathy and a bit of an understanding for the lost thing. So let's put that. Okay, so we want the reader to feel empathy, so to understand how they feel, really, to empathy and to relate to and understand the lost thing. Right, and the last one, I think we could add some humour to this. I think it could be quite funny, because who knows what those lost things get up in the centre for lost things that they all go to. So to be entertained and to be made to laugh, I think that's always important. To be entertained and made to laugh. I think we all need a bit of that at the moment. I'm going to give that an exclamation mark. Right, so those are the first two boxes. Hopefully you're completing this at the same time. Right, so the next box, features and success criteria. So this is all about how we will deliver the purpose and the effect on the reader. So what ingredients are we going to need in our diary? Hopefully after watching kind of the previous parts of this video, you'll know all this. So think about what every diary needs to have. Right, so pause now and see if you can fill that in. Okay, so hopefully you paused and you had a go at filling that in independently on your own. If you were stuck or if you couldn't think of everything, you can watch me filling it in now and then use some of those ideas. Right, so every diary must have a date. A date at the top of each entry. That's definitely important. And I'm just going to do an example of that. I'm just going to do Monday, the 1st February. Okay, so that's just an example. You could put any example date you want. Right, so what else? So every diary should be written in the first person. Okay, because remember it's you writing the diary as if you are the lost thing. So think about all of those pronouns. Think back to the earlier part of this video. What were the pronouns we'd use? Well, I did this, I did that. Me, my, we, us, our. Okay, so those pronouns definitely would need to be used. Definitely it needs to be written in the past tense, doesn't it? Okay, so in a diary we write about what's already happened, mainly, in fact, past tense. That's another ingredient, definitely. So let's have some examples of some past tense verbs. So ate instead of eat, looked. What else could we have? Thought. If you're doing that in the present tense, you think. Walked. In the present, you would walk. And sang, and in the present you would sing. Right, so definitely you're writing in the past tense about things that have already happened. Right, it needs to be in chronological order. So I'm just going to show this by putting morning. Put that first. Afternoon. Second. And evening. Okay, so that just illustrates what I mean by chronological order. So the order in which events have happened. Now, what else? Oh, I know this sort of goes with the chronological order. We need time conjunctions. And adverbials. So words like first, next, after, or adverbials before lunch, until bedtime. Okay, because it's important our reader, whoever's reading our diary entry, knows when things are happening. So personal emotions and thoughts. Definitely diary entries have those. That's what a diary is for, really. Personal emotions. Thoughts and hopes. Right, so I'm just going to do a little example of this. So let's just write a quick sentence. You could think of your own as an example for around the outside. Let's have, it's all so new that sometimes I get a little overwhelmed. Right, so I'm imagining that the lost thing has arrived at the centre for lost things, and sometimes it's also new that they just feel a bit overwhelmed by it all. I can imagine that happening. Right, so finally we need to have one more thing, and it's going to be in the introduction to the scene. Important to sort of set the scene in a diary. Introduction to a scene. Right, so can you think of an introduction there? Always pause it and have a go. If not, I'm going to give you an idea. You can magpie. So here's my little introduction. I'm imagining that I'm a lost thing, and this is from the diary entry. Today was a fabulous day for all of us lost things. When we woke, we discovered. Right, I'm just going to leave you on a bit of a, do an ellipsis, ... So you can imagine what the lost thing is going to write after that. Right, Year 4. So that is your task. Okay. Well, good luck, Year 4. And I will really, really look forward to seeing your boxed up plan. So don't forget to bring it to our Zoom chat this afternoon.